There are things that invalidate our fast. And as I said, the difference between someone who's knowledgeable and someone who's not is knowledge. If you possess this knowledge, you're a knowledgeable person. You don't have to go and ask. And this is why we get a lot of questions. Sheikh, I was fasting and I looked at a woman. I know it's sinful. Have I broken my fast? Someone else says, I was working the bellows, or I was cooking food and doing barbecue, and I inhaled a lot of the smoke. Have I broken my fast, etc.? If you know the things that break your fast and where they come from and why they break your fast, you have knowledge. Likewise with the things that break your wudu, your ablution. I smoked, and this is sinful. I vaped. I use e-cigarettes. So have I broken my wudu? Can I do this? If I performed wudu and then I looked at my private part, or I performed it naked. All of these things and many, many more, if you limit the things that break your wudu, you break your fast, what are the conditions of this? What are the mandatory acts of that? This is a compilation of items that would make you knowledgeable, insha'Allah. So what are the things that invalidate your fasting? The top things that are known to everyone are eating and drinking deliberately and intentionally. Because Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, and eat and drink until the white thread of dawn becomes distinct to you from the black thread of night. Then complete the fast until the sun sets. So this is the first things that break your fasting. To eat and drink deliberately during the daytime. But if someone did this by mistake, if someone ate or drank out of forgetfulness, well, this has no impact on his fasting. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, whoever forgets when he's fasting and eats or drinks, let him complete his fast, for it is Allah who has fed him and given him to drink. However, once he remembers, he must stop immediately. And there's no difference whether this is mandatory or voluntary fast. And also, if we were to see someone eating or drinking during the fasting daytime out of forgetfulness, it is not permissible for us to sit back and say, lucky him, Allah is feeding him. No, we have to remind him and stop him from doing what he was doing. And eating and drinking is something that breaks your fast. One of my son-in-laws once called me during the daytime. He said, Sheikh, I woke up to go to work and I was fasting, and out of forgetfulness, I ate a sandwich and drank a glass of milk. And then I remembered after I finished. He was doing voluntary fast. He said, okay, no problem. He said, I went to, yeah, but it's not over here. I went to work. I worked on my job for 3-4 hours. And I came to pray Dhuhr. After Dhuhr, the boys bought some fried chicken and they invited me. So I ate with them lunch. I said, okay, out of forgetfulness. He said, okay. He said, it doesn't end here. Then they brought some cake I said, "Akhi, this is too much. What are you doing? Where is your mind? What kind of fast is this?" But at the end of the day, technically speaking, Allah is most forgiving, most merciful, not like us. We would have rendered his fast over. But the actual fact is, as long as you've done it out of forgetfulness, your fast is valid with the grace of Allah. And Allah is the one who fed you and offered you something to drink. Now, eating and drinking is obvious. And scholars say anything that enters your stomach, whether through your mouth or through your nasal cavity, is considered to be eating and drinking. Even if you swallow a pill or a stone, that would be also drinking and eating, regardless of the nature of it. As long as it went to your stomach, it invalidates your fast. Likewise, what is considered to be nutrients. So if a person takes an IV of glucose, for example, or any substance that would suffice him from eating and drinking, like sick people in hospitals, this also breaks the fast because it is within the same meaning of fasting, and it does the same job as well. Injections that do not provide you with energy and you cannot use them to suffice you from eating and drinking have no impact on your fasting, such as injections of vaccines, such as injections that get your temperature down. Whether these are IVs or taken in the muscles, there is no problem in that as well. Other substances, such as kuhl, eyeliners, or eye drops, or ear drops. Sometimes people say that when we apply eye drops, we find the taste of it in our throats. And likewise, when we put eardrops. But these are not normal passages to the stomach. So even if you find the taste, your fasting is still valid. And what about using inhalers? Inhalers are usually taken by people who have asthma problems. And it was an issue of dispute. However, the scholars say that it has no impact on fasting. Why? Because the amount of liquid or substance that enters your system is far, far less than what remains in your mouth after rinsing it and spitting the water out. And this is not swallowed, rather it is inhaled, and it's for necessity. Hence, it is not a form of eating or drinking, therefore there is no problem in using it, insha'Allah. The second thing that invalidates your fasting is to vomit deliberately. Vomiting is to take whatever is in your stomach out. Whoever does this deliberately, either by smelling something that he knows it would provoke him to vomit, or inserting your finger in your throat, then this invalidates your fasting because you've done this deliberately. But if a person ate something bad or overate, and while sitting, he just has the urge to vomit and it is uncontrollable, he could not resist it or stop it. In this case, once he vomits, then there is no sin on him and he should continue to fast. His fast is valid. And the evidence backing this up is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he says, whoever is overwhelmed by the urge to vomit does not have to make up that day. But whoever makes himself vomit deliberately, let him make it up. And this hadith is the cornerstone for those who say that intentional vomiting invalidates the fasting, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala